Assalamu alaikum once again, and we're now coming to the tail end of this summit, and let's brace ourselves for the last and the final session of the Leaders in Islamabad Business Summit, 7th edition. The Leaders in Islamabad Business Summit 7th edition is co-hosted by Nutshell Conferences Group and Unity Foods Limited in collaboration with the Overseas Investors Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Faisal Bank is our platinum partner and Infra Zamin is our strategic partner. So is Marissa still in the hall? I couldn't help but notice that one of the first things she did after landing in Pakistan was to put henna on her hands, and it was absolutely beautiful. It was so nice to see that traditional touch. So full marks for that, Marissa, wherever you are right now. All right, so we have some very eminent speakers in the last session, and my team and I have been seeing that the crowds have really come in today, especially in the last session and this one, so much so that we had to manage chairs on both ends of the hall. So actually the interest that all of you have shown in Leaders in Islamabad yesterday and today, it is a testament to the hunger that our society and our audiences now have for meaningful content and to engage in healthy debates and to talk about issues that are important for Pakistan, they're important for the region, especially the insight that has been brought by our wonderful international speakers. Another thing which is extremely heartening, and a statistic that has come out from specifically this edition of Leaders in Islamabad, is that we have a number of students that have also been nominated by universities in Islamabad to attend this summit. It is, I think, brilliant that these sessions are training grounds for our future, our future generations. So these were the two things I wanted to share with you before we move to our last speakers. I would like to invite our speakers on stage. Mr. Alessandro Ferin, if you could please join us on the stage, and let's take the applause a notch higher. Everybody, thank you very much. All right, I'd also like to invite Dr. Jihad Al-Nakla on the stage. And last but definitely not the least, the man who's flown several thousand hours, former Air Chief of Pakistan Air Force, Air Chief Marshal Suhail Aman. Sir, please grace the stage with your presence. Thank you very much. So for this last session, I'd really like it if all of you could take out your cell phones, use the hashtags Leaders in ISB and hashtag Collaborating for Growth, and post about the content that will be shared, post about your experience of yesterday and today, talk about what a brimming hall we've had these 2 days. So let's start posting. Let's get some good content on social media as well. I'd also like to mention that we've had a great online audience as well. Leaders in Islamabad has been a hybrid conference for the past number of years. So it's extremely wonderful to have our international audiences online as well. Right, so now it is my pleasure to introduce our first speaker of the 9th session. Mr. Alessandro Ferin has nearly 2 decades of experience in telecom, mobile marketing, and business consulting. He has international business networks covering Europe, Africa, the Latin American countries, and the Middle East. In 2019, he co-founded the company that he's managing and heading right now, Novelty Media. It is a media company that reinvents the way content over mobile phones is delivered. So, Mr. Ferin, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us, and I invite you for your address. Applause, please.
So, good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm deeply honored to be here today and actually to have the opportunity to participate in what I consider can be a key step in the exciting journey that Pakistan is actually starting. I'm Alessandro Ferin. I'm the co-founder and the CEO of Novelty Media. As you might have understood, I'm from Italy, and actually this drives me to the first consideration I'd like to share with you today, that is the perception of Pakistan in Europe. Well, matter of fact, a lot of people, majority of the people in Europe, has a minimal knowledge. It's better now? Perfect. Has a minimal knowledge of about Pakistan. We barely know the history. We definitely don't understand the language. We have a different culture. We have a different religion. Why not? We dress maybe even a different way. So in essence, majority of the people, they actually associate Pakistan to a largely populated country from where a lot of immigrants are coming from. Most of them even not that friendly, not, that sociable. And they are just taking over very low-level positions as workers. Well, I have to admit this is one of the most misleading perceptions I have been exposed in my life. Here in Pakistan, I met some of the most brilliant, most inspiring leaders, businessmen I have been exposed in more than 20 years of my operations around the globe. In Pakistan, I found one of my best friends, my mentor, Naeem Zamindar. But most important, I would say, just by walking in the street, just by interacting with people, I definitely perceive a positive attitude that is coming to me just as a foreigner. And with that regards, I'd like to share with you a small story that happened to me the very first time I landed here in Islamabad about 3 years ago. Just outside the airport, I came across two informal stewards that were there, and they not only helped me out by phoning a driver that I was not able to reach, but actually they offered me even a coffee. And when I was about to give them a tip for their service, they politely declined, and they told me, "Welcome to Pakistan." So people, this is really something, the best part that the country may have for a person that the very first lie landed in the country. So yes, a misleading perception is definitely a challenge that Pakistan is now facing, but I'm truly convinced that the more the country will get exposed to international investors, the more the country will have tourists coming and experiencing Pakistan, the sooner this misleading perception will fade out and showing the real spirit of this country. So, as I was mentioning about 6 years ago, I co-founded Novelty Media. Novelty Media is a startup, and our journey started from a basic consideration. On a daily basis, we are bombarded by advertising, primarily on our devices, on our mobile phones. So we are paying less and less attention to what we are displayed. Therefore, me and my partner came up with a solution to try to interact in a different way with users, and we created SmartAd. What is SmartAd? SmartAd is a new media channel that transforms the basic core functionalities of our smartphones into viewing events. So content and advertisement are now deployed to the user upon unlocking the phone while initiating, placing, receiving, or terminating a voice call. In return to the users for watching up to 20 snack-size content within the day, they are getting rewarded by incentives in a frequent and recurrent manner. Most important, the recurrency. So they have these digital goods that we give to them just in return for them to be in service. What I do mean about digital good? I'm talking about free data. So we are delivering this service in partnership with telcos that in first place enable us to fast grow our customer base. In less than 6 months, we collected more than 3 million users in service with a plan of reaching 10 million by year end. But the partnership with telcos gives also us the opportunity to have access to further benefits that we can give out to the end users. So I mentioned free data, but what about vouchers? What about the possibility for the users to subsidize in full or in part the buying of new phones? So in essence, what we are doing, we are giving a facilitated digital access to people funded by advertising. And clearly, the boost that we are giving also to the advertising ecosystem, collecting advertising budgets in local revenues, is definitely creating a positive momentum for the economy. So we truly believe that our solution can be with this innovative way that we have to interact with people, will be definitely a disruptive element, a disruptive component in markets, and specifically in markets like Pakistan, where millions of people, millions of young people, cannot yet afford a proper access to digital for their health, education, entertainment, and financial services. So recently, we presented our solution to a lot of investors around the world, and frequently we have been asked why we have decided to start our international expansion from Pakistan. Well, actually, we invested here already 1 million with a plan to go to 10 millions in the next 2 years. So this actually drives me to the last consideration I would like to share with you today. So the relevance of a market like Pakistan, even for early stage technology companies. The lack of language barriers combined with the access to millions of people, of young people, is definitely a tremendous opportunity for startups whose enterprise value is going to be calculated against the size of their customer base. Clearly, by attracting those startups in Pakistan, we'll definitely have a positive return for the economy as well, driven by innovation. So, and it's also creating further job opportunities, because I'm very confident that a lot of companies will actually take in serious consideration to move their operations within Pakistan, considering the more favorable labor cost, as an example, compared to Europe. There is, in a way, a pre-requirement that is definitely mandatory in order for this opportunity to materialize in a way that is going to be significant for the country. And it is the fact that international ventures, and specifically for early stages ones that obviously they do not have enough spending power, or they have at least limited spending power, to have very clear, precise and long-term rules and regulations in place. This, in first place, to evaluate the business case in the mid-long term, so the investment that they are going to do, if it's going to be profitable or not. And also, why not, really important, the access, the easy access to this type of information to enable it to collect enough data, even from remote, for evaluating the opportunity to invest here in Pakistan. So with this, I'd like to conclude, and I sincerely hope that the journey that Novelty Media has started here in Pakistan may translate very soon in a very profitable and fruitful case study that a lot of companies internationally would like to replicate. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and I must say that we're very encouraged by your interest and your investment in Pakistan, and thank you for recognizing the potential of this immense market with its growing youth bulge. You also spoke about changing perceptions, and I think all of you international speakers who've joined us for Leaders in Islamabad, the ones that have been joining previously, and all of you who are here today, would, inshallah, God willing, be our ambassadors as you go back to your own countries. And we hope that this influx and traffic would keep growing. And in fact, that is one of the things that Nutshell believes in doing, bringing more and more people to witness not only the potential of this country as a market, but also how beautiful we are as a people, and so many other traits that, that define who Pakistanis are. So thank you very much, Mr. Ferin, for your very interesting address. I'd now like to introduce Dr. Jihad Al-Nakla, Chairman Al Baraka Bank, Pakistan Limited. He has more than 3 decades of varied experience in mixed commercial banking and credit rating at senior levels. He has strong credit risk management and financial analysis skills. Dr. Al-Nakla has previously served on the boards of Al Baraka Group and Jordan Islamic Bank, in addition to the chairman of the board of directors of Al Baraka Sudan. He's previously served as the general manager of Moody's Investors Service Middle East in Dubai. He's also served on the boards of 3 of Moody's subsidiaries in Egypt, Cyprus, and the UAE. Dr. Nakla, I welcome you to lead us in Islamabad, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Assalamu alaikum and good day. I hope everybody in all the corners can hear me well. It gives me great pleasure really to speak to you here today, and I would like to thank in nutshell and in particular Mr. Asfar Ahsan, who extended the invitation to me. We came to Islamabad for our board meeting, and for me this is the first time I come to this beautiful city. And what an honor on this occasion to speak to this great conference. I attended so many 2 days conferences, and I can tell you on the second day, especially on the afternoon, and especially on the entail as put by the facilitator, there will be hardly anybody in the room, let alone or less being awake. So this is really congratulations to the organization. This conference looks, seems, and appears to be a very successful, good work. I think many of us in our early stages in our career building, we attended some training on how to make a presentation, good presentation. And the advice always try to come up with a story. I have many stories to tell, but mostly Palestinian-oriented. However, I decided to spare you that distress and share maybe a quick note. Yesterday, the board was privileged to meet with the finance minister, Mr. Mohammed Aurangzeb, who was very kind to share with us a number of initiatives, developments underway and in the pipeline, which hopefully, inshallah, will make a difference to the economy, government finances, and some of the institutions. Good luck to him. And I met with a number of finance ministers, and I can tell when you are listening to pure politician or somebody, a private sector leader. So good luck to him, and I think the new government, at least the finance department, is on the right track. So I look like I'm a bit nervous because this audience is so great. We looked into possible topics to talk about, and eventually we agreed to talk about Al Baraka Bank, Pakistan, and the stages and the steps and the initiatives taken toward becoming a leading Islamic bank in the country. So I'll be using some notes to talk about some milestones. Al Baraka Bank operations is part of Al Baraka Group that's based in Bahrain through Al Baraka Islamic Bank, a subsidiary, and both are in Bahrain. Al Baraka brand or subsidiaries are available in different geographical. We cover a number of African countries. We are in Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, South Africa, and Sudan. And if we cross east to Asia, we are in Egypt, Jordan, Turkey, Pakistan, of course. We have digital setup in Germany and 2 branches in Iraq. Here in Pakistan, the operation started in 1992 with as small as 2 million. It was through branches of Al Baraka Islamic Bank in Bahrain. However, ABG started to inject cash, capital, and since 1992, now the capital amounts to $86 million. That's in today's exchange rate. Otherwise, it's really higher than that. Until 2010, since for 8 years, it operated through branches and then confirmed transfer to subsidiary. In October 2010, Al Baraka 29 branches converted to grow to 60 branches, and then started acquisition and to grow within the country. In 2016, it acquired, in the same year, 2010, Emirates Global Bank. 6 years later, it acquired Burj Bank. And now, we have 2,400 member staff, and 170 branches. During 2023, or actually before that, if I step back, a change in the top management about 18 months ago resulted in enhanced dynamics and more predictable outlook for the bank. During 2023, we witnessed significant growth in all areas of banking business, notable growth in deposits, assets, profitability. Our capital adequacy ratio, CAR, now nearly 21%. We covered all retained losses, and now we are on positive area. We have external rating, Pakistani agency, A+ rating, and we provide full suite of Islamic finance or banking products, covering all sectors, retail, corporate, investment banking, treasury services. We at the bank continue to take initiatives. I hope this helps. We have a role toward our customers, so on the corporate side, and we know in the in the country there are so many family-owned large corporates who organized a big lecture. Big in the sense there are so many corporate attended. We brought prominent speaker, Sheikh Yusuf Khalani. The title is Sheikh, but he's really on the business side of the Sharia thing, and that was well received. We plan to have another one later on this year in Lahore. That was well received by the family owners, which gave them some ideas about the future, governance, and maybe IPO spinning off if needed. One of the initiatives is really to enter the Hajj business. And by this year, or within this year, we managed to acquire 40% market share of, they call it Tanzim, companies that open account with us. So we are a leading bank providing services to this Tanzim company. One of the most important initiatives, and I think we are ahead of other banks in this, is forging or promoting a trade finance between Pakistan and other countries where Al-Barakah is operating. And we started with South Africa, and we have a conference between the two sides, businessmen, traders, exporter, importer, depending on the way where you sit on the equation. And we have a portal now available to all these merchants where they can exchange information and data and have data and information about their counterpart in other countries. Later this year, we'll do the same with Egypt. So we're expanding. It sounds like in Africa, but soon it will be also Asia. We launched a very ambitious digitalization strategy that is aligned with the global strategy of Al-Barakah Group, and that's involved now we have very advanced mobile banking, internet banking. This is to enhance the customer-facing or customer experiences, but also internally we have so many initiatives for digitization and digitalization of our processes. I don't know what happened to me today. Okay. Internally and on the sustainability, we are very committed to ESG, social and sustainable economic The group, by and large, strives to contribute to the real economy and the impact of the communities we operate in. As a member of International Islamic Financial Group, founded on Islamic principles and values, we are at Baraka believe we have now more failure. We have particular obligation on society, thank you, through patronage and sponsorship of education and social projects to enhance the living condition and the quality of life of individuals in the local communities we operate in. And we have a strong CSR program that reflects our commitment to the society that varies from direct donation to community work and addressing financial literacy. The bank also embarked on knowledge and awareness program to promote Islamic finance within the corporate environment in the country. And as a charity, start from home, at home, we are planning a water filtration project to provide drinkable water to the community around our head office in Karachi. Developing a clear ESG agenda, the bank value very much ESG, and is now a fixed agenda item to the board, and the board executive committee monitors the implementation of our program until such time we form a dedicated board committee for ESG. From risk management side, we make ourselves aware of potential environmental, social, and governance risk, and to be able to manage and mitigate the arising risk, so we keep operating in a safe environment that adheres to ESG principle. The credit policy now addresses ESG factors by assessing related risk at the borrowing entity's side. And on the sustainability front, and I think we did a lot here, the bank has enhanced the training budget over the years with emphasis on the job training. Employees' benefits have been enhanced with a view to do more in the coming years to reduce attrition, but also to retain talent. We have now a more transparent and fair recruitment process that promote diversity and inclusion within the bank's workforce. It is notable that now that we have more women in leading positions in the CEO's leadership team and in the board. And we have a good graduate program to meet our needs, but with surplus that can go to the marketplace with training and some experiences. Innovation, product development, and service quality now receives more focus. In the governance side, a gradual and rigorous review of all policies and procedures is underway with focus on ethical behavior and anti-fraud and corruption measures. These documents are readily available to our staff in the local and the internal portal with readily available training if needed. Now, all our board members are certified directors, and we rolled the certification to our C-level leaders. The group's mission, and this is globally shared within the group, is to fulfill the financial needs of communities across the globe by conducting business through an ethical, customer-centric approach tailored for the digital age, based on our core belief and aimed at sharing the mutual rewards of our partners in business success, our customers, our employees, our shareholders, and our communities by and large. We aim to become bank of choice and employer of choice. With this, thank you for listening, and once again, thank Nutshell for giving the opportunity and for giving my. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. El Nakla. I was just speaking to Asfar and he told me that this is your first time at Leaders in Islamabad, so we're very, very honored by your presence, and also we're extremely inspired as an audience by your humility. So would you, we were just wondering, General Shahzad and I were having a word, and we were wondering if you would like to share maybe an initiative in Islamic banking that you are leading in Pakistan, because Pakistan is a big market for you, so we just wanted to know. And if there are a couple of other questions, we would like to take a couple of questions if the audience is interested. Please, sir. The mic is right beside you, if you could switch it on. Thank you. The mic.
Yeah, is there a question? So I missed the question. Yeah, the question is coming, yeah?
Yes, actually, I was wondering if you would like to share maybe an Islamic banking initiative across some other countries, or specifically in Pakistan?
Well, within the group, each subsidiary has its own Sharia board, committee, or board actually. But at the level of the group, we have a unified Sharia board, which try really to align the policies and the way, correctness, if you like, and new products coming to the market, taking into account that some countries have their own, regulations, if you like, or definition of products that are acceptable by different bodies, either the central bank or other regulatory body in that country. And frankly, there is no one definition. Some products in one country, haram, like tawarruk in Jordan is not allowed, tawarruk in Saudi Arabia is very, very popular. So the unified board try to really find common ground so it can roll out this fatwa, if you like, and then give freedom to individual boards to operate within that. I think this is very important and main thing. Otherwise, the Islamic products is well known to many in many ways. However, each subsidiary and also at the board, at the group level, we have products development unit. But frankly, the changes is not like, even a conventional bank, you don't come with the new products every day. Conventional products, maybe structured products, there is always innovation and competition there. I hope I answered.
Thank you very much. In fact, Faisal Bank, that is our platinum partner for Leaders in Islamabad, and a bank that we've been working for a while is also an Islamic bank, and so we're quite familiar with a number of products that they offer, and in fact, it was the biggest conversion from a traditional bank to an Islamic bank. Faisal Bank. Also, we have a digital Islamic bank now in Pakistan, which is the Rakami Islamic Digital Bank. All right. Is there another question?
If you allow me, one example where products in one country differs. Here, we couldn't receive a fatwa that we can issue credit cards, although I must say credit cards are not popular in this country.
Actually, they are. You know, we've become a nation that's using plastic money a lot these days, especially the slightly younger population. It's very popular nowadays. I don't remember the last time I carried cash in my.
I would like to talk to you about it. The debit cards is different from credit cards. I meant the credit cards, where the bank extend the credit free of charge for 6. So the question how to price that debit if it's not unpaid on time, I think there's an issue here.
Right. Is there any other question that someone from the audience would like to ask? Yes, Shafqat, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Dr. Jihad, first of all, welcome to Pakistan. It's a pleasure to have you here, and hopefully you will keep coming back because it is an emerging economy, and you will have a lot of opportunities to grow here. I'm from S&P Global, and my question is, each bank has a green banking strategy as well. Do you have any green banking initiatives or strategy for near-term or short-term, for Pakistan specifically?
Yes, without going into particular details of the strategy itself. Yes, last year we approved a new strategy, 5 years strategy, that takes into account a number of areas where we want to grow or we want to slow down, but largely growth. One of the aspects is really to expand our network, branch network. So we have planned to add new branches every year across the country, and we started this year. That strategy, I must say, was developed in a detailed way by our new CEO. He sits here, Mr. Atif Hanif. And to discuss it and approve it, we spent one full day in Dubai just discussing that. Yes, we have a strategy. Thank you.
Yes, please. If you could please introduce yourself as well. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My name is Muhammad Atif Hanif. I'm CEO of Al Baraka Bank, Pakistan.
Welcome.
And I must acknowledge that Dr. Jihad was very kind to accept this invitation. He was here actually for a 2-day board meeting, and Mr. Asfar flew with us from Karachi, and on the way, this was, we thought that it will be a good opportunity if Dr. Jihad can come and share his views. I will just like to answer the ESG part. Green banking, of course, all banks have green banking strategy, but now, as per the new regulations of State Bank, by 2025, all banks have to have a complete framework of ESG. So we have partnered with KPMG, who are aligning us on this path, and our target to have a complete ESG strategy aligned and developed by the end of this year and not 2025. So ESG part is very well taken care of. As far as overall, like there was a question about the special initiatives or the special business approach that we have towards Islamic, from Islamic banking perspective. We are the only bank who have a very focused approach towards the Hajj and Umrah business. 47% of the private Hajj business, the share is with Al Baraka Bank, Pakistan. And likewise, we are looking at products for even, we are actually financing Hajj as well. So people who cannot afford Hajj in this expensive era, we have consumer products where people can go on Hajj and then pay later. And also we are opening our another franchise in Saudi Arabia by the end of this year. So this is going to be a major development for the Hajj and Umrah business, both ways, and also the home remittance. Saudi Arabia is the leading source of home remittance for Pakistan, and we will be probably the only bank in Pakistan with major presence in Saudi Arabia, and that is going to make a big difference. So now we are, we have been here for 30 years. We were the first Islamic bank in Pakistan in 1992. And now expanding in multi-dimension, digitally, brick and mortar, technology, and in so many areas. So thank you.
Thank you very much for elaborating on your initiatives, particularly the home remittance. We do have the largest Pakistani population in Saudi Arabia, so I'm sure this would be a very popular product.
I wished I spoke sitting rather than standing there.
Well, we can have a second edition next year, inshallah. So thank you very much, Dr. Al Nakla. It was very, very, very nice to have you. A round of applause for Dr. Jihad Al Nakla. Thank you very much, sir.